What's up, everybody? My name is Justin, and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. On today, I've got a bottle that I've never really seen anything about before. Today, I've got the MB Roland Single Barrel Bourbon Whiskey. Okay, so MB Roland Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It's coming in at 109.1 proof. It says it's uncut, unfiltered, a new number 4 char on the barrel with a mash bill of 78% white corn, 17% rye, and 5% malt. And it does say that it is mashed, distilled, and bottled by MB Roland Distillery in Kentucky. So sounds like its own. Doesn't have any kind of age statement. I couldn't find any kind of age statement online. It says grain to glass up here on the bottle. It looks interesting, maybe darker than I would have expected. Something like this seems like a craftier type release. So we'll see how it is today. It looks a little darker than I would have expected, but overall the bottle looks alright. The label is just kind of but we'll find out if the whiskey inside is any good today. So let's go ahead and pop this bottle, get the nosing straight out of the bottle. Okay, so that's got a lot of that super corn husky grain forwardness going on there on that first nose. A lot of that. It almost smells like a Texas whiskey. Like if you guys have ever tried one of those and they're super corn grain husk forward, it kind of smells like that. That's pretty much what I'm getting dominating out of the bottle here. Let's go ahead, pour it into the glass, give it a little shake around, see if things change up a little bit for us today, and then we'll go ahead and rank it on the tier system, which is what I do here on this channel. So hey, before we get into today's review, do me one big favor: hit like, hit subscribe. It's free for you, means a lot for me. If you really want to help support the channel, hit that join button down below. MB Roland 109 proof single barrel, nosing out of the glass. Okay, not as husky out of the glass, but it's still definitely there. It's definitely got that kind of youthful grainy note forwardness going to it. It's got something like underlying it that I haven't quite been able to pinpoint what I think I want to call that yet, but it's definitely got that youthful quality to it. Almost smells like, what's the rye? 17% rye, but it almost feels like it's higher content than that. It does have some spice going on there on the nose. A little bit of dry oakiness with a hint of bitteriness. Not too bad on the nose, but a hint of it on there. Maybe like a leather. Like a dry, cracked leather. There's something like almost sour about it, though. Like, I don't know what that note is. Almost like a sauerkraut. I don't think I've ever said sauerkraut on a nosing before, so I don't know. We'll see how it is. I've never seen any reviews on this stuff before. I picked it up recently for $55. It was the last bottle they had. I've seen it in the store for probably going 2 years now. It was the last bottle, so I figured I've never seen it anywhere else. I might as well pick it up and give it a try before it's gone. So cheers, everybody. Yeah, a lot of corn, a lot of that dusty corn husk going on. Definitely youthful and grain forward here. Got a little bit of vanilla and caramel in the background, but not too much. It definitely has some of that rye spice. You can feel that rye spice really coming on there, but it's just that dusty, like corn husk quality to it. Really kind of overlays everything. Actually, the finish is probably the best part. The finish is a bit of a like light caramel with some of that rye spice going on. I think the finish is probably my favorite part of this so far. Definitely better than the nose, and definitely better than the palate. So yeah, it's got to be the finish is the best part. Yeah, it's tough to get past that initial corn note. Like, obviously, bourbon is corn, but this is a white corn? This is a white corn, so I don't know what kind of difference that makes, but it's definitely super corn husky, that like a corn powder, like what's that, corn meal? Is that what I'm thinking of? It's like a corn meal comes through both on the nose and on the palate. It's actually got a hint of that malted barley on there. Yeah, it's got a hint of that malted barley. It's only 5% in the mash bill, but it does give you that kind of lingering, almost smokiness, but when it's not smokiness and you just know it's that malted barley, that's kind of like a little bit of that note on there as well. So it's interesting. And the question is, where do I want to rank this on the tier system? It's not overly great. It's definitely youthful. It's got that corn husky note to it. I don't absolutely hate it, but it's not something that I think I would enjoy sipping regularly or really that often. So if anything, I'm leaning towards like this would be something that I would be putting into a mixed drink of some sort. I don't know what kind of mixed drink I would make with something that's super corn husk forward, but I'm not the mixed drink expert, so y'all can let me know down in the comments below if you know of any mixed drinks that would be really good to make with something with those kind of notes, and maybe I can do something like that and try it in the future. But on the tier system today, let me give it one sip before my final result. It's just that super youthful, super corn husk, little bit of leather, lot of rye spice in there, which that part's not bad. A hint of vanilla and caramel in the background, but other than that, it's just that super corn husk. But it is the finish that's the best part. The best part is the finish. It's got a little bit of a creamy caramel vanilla finish with those rye spices mixed in, and the corn husk actually kind of fades away a little bit. You get a ton of it up front, a big blast of it up front, but it kind of fades away for the finish. So the finish on this one is definitely the best part for me. So on the tier system today, it says established 2009, so pretty new distillery down there. I'm assuming this is some kind of craft distillery because I've never seen anything from it before. Barrel ID 82820A, so I don't know if that's maybe a 2020 barrel or bottling. I don't know, but 109 proof today. MB Roland, single barrel. I think on the tier list, I'm going to go ahead and put it down in D tier. It's just super youthful, super corn husky. It's not something that I overly love, but it's not terrible either. Like, I could drink this if I had to, but it's not something that I would recommend. $56, don't think it's worth that. And, you know, that's even pretty cheap for a bottle these days, all things considered, especially where we are in the bourbon market and with inflation in the world and everything. That's generally pretty cheap for a bottle these days, but I would probably pass on this one and go with a different option. So, hey, that's it today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you for your next drink.